The gathering storm, the galaxy's three most powerful military. Alliances gather at the edge of the Vega system for what they believe will be the final battle to divide human space among themselves. The Corvin Empire, led by Admiral Vex, commands 800 massive dreadnoughts with plasma cannons that can melt asteroids. The Rillan Federation brings 600 ships under Commander Voss, each equipped with quantum torpedoes and energy shields. The Nexus Coalition arrives with 750 vessels, commanded by General Kane, featuring advanced AI targeting systems and antimatter weapons. For months, these three powers have been hunting down human colonies and outposts scattered across the outer rim. Humans, they believe, are a weak species that somehow managed to spread across several star systems before the major powers noticed them. Intelligence reports suggest humans have no unified government, no advanced technology, and no real military to speak of. Their ships are crude, their weapons primitive, and their colonies are barely defended. The three fleets position themselves in a triangle formation around the last known human settlement on Kepler 442b. Each admiral is confident that once they eliminate this final human presence, they can turn their attention to fighting each other for the spoils. The planet below shows minimal energy signatures and appears to have only basic defensive installations. Admiral Vex opens communications with his rivals. The humans end today, he declares. But let us be clear about who claims the largest share of their former territories. Commander Voss laughs coldly. Your empire grows fat and slow, Vex. The Federation's swift strikes have already claimed the richest human worlds. General Kane's response is measured but threatening. The Coalition's analysis shows both your fleets are positioned poorly. We will demonstrate superior tactics. As the three massive fleets prepare to descend upon the defenseless human world, their sensors detect something unusual. A single ship appears at the edge of the system, seemingly from nowhere. It's unlike anything in their databases, sleek, dark, and roughly the size of a heavy cruiser. The vessel makes no aggressive moves, broadcasts no warnings, and responds to no hails. One ship? Admiral Vex scoffs. The humans send one ship against our combined might. The mysterious vessel slowly moves toward the center of the triangle formed by the three fleets. Its hull appears to be made of some unknown metal that seems to absorb sensor readings. No energy signatures register from its weapons systems. Yet, something about its presence makes veteran officers feel uneasy. Commander Voss runs deep scans on the lone human ship. I'm reading some kind of energy buildup, but it's unlike anything we've encountered. The power source appears to be contained within that small frame. General Kane orders his eye systems to analyze the ship's design. Curious. The hull configuration suggests technologies we don't recognize, but surely one vessel cannot threaten our combined forces. The human ship reaches the exact center point between the three fleets and comes to a complete stop. For a moment, space is utterly silent except for the background. Communications chatter between the allied fleets as they coordinate their attack on the planet below. Then, without warning, the mysterious human vessel begins to emit a low-frequency signal that somehow reaches every ship in all three fleets. Simultaneously, a human voice speaks clearly in the common galactic language. You have 30 seconds to withdraw from this system. This is your only warning. The transmission ends as abruptly as it began, leaving the three admirals staring at their screens in disbelief. Admiral Vex is the first to break the silence. Did they just threaten us? His bridge crew exchanges nervous glances. The combined fleet total is over 2,000 ships, including some of the most advanced and powerful vessels ever built. Each fleet alone could conquer entire star systems. Commander Voss activates her fleet-wide communications. All ships prepare to demonstrate what happens when primitives challenge their betters. Target that lone vessel and reduce it to atoms. General Kane's tactical display shows optimal firing solutions from multiple angles. Coalition forces, power weapons. Let's end this farce quickly. The countdown reaches 0. Admiral Vex raises his hand to give the attack order. The mysterious Human ship sits motionless in space, apparently helpless before the assembled might of three galactic superpowers. What the admirals don't realize is that they are about to witness the true meaning of human warfare and discover why their species has never encountered anything quite like humanity before. The final seconds tick away as targeting computers lock onto the lone human vessel, and the galaxy's mightiest fleets prepare to learn a lesson they will never forget. 4 minutes of terror. Fire. Admiral X roars across the communications channel. 3,000 weapons discharge simultaneously. Plasma cannons, quantum torpedoes, and antimatter missiles streak through space toward the lone human ship. The combined firepower could shatter moons. Yet the mysterious vessel doesn't move, doesn't dodge, doesn't even raise shields. The weapon's impact should vaporize the ship instantly. Instead, something impossible happens. Every projectile, every energy beam, every piece of destructive force simply vanishes the moment it touches the human vessel's hull. Not absorbed, not deflected, completely erased from existence as if it never existed at all. What in the void was that? Commander Voss stares at her tactical display in shock. Her quantum torpedoes, weapons that could punch through 6 feet of reinforced battle steel, have simply ceased to exist. Her weapons officer runs diagnostics. Certain the sensors must be malfunctioning. General Kane's AI systems immediately begin calculating new attack vectors. Analysis shows unknown defensive technology. Recommend increasing firepower by 300% and concentrating all fire on a single point. But even as his fleet prepares a second barrage, something changes about the human ship. The dark hull begins to glow with an eerie blue light that pulses like a heartbeat. Energy readings spike beyond anything their sensors can properly measure. The mysterious vessel, which had seemed so small and insignificant moments before, now radiates power that makes their largest dreadnoughts look like children's toys. All ships, maximum shields. Admiral X commands, but his words come too late. The human ship doesn't fire conventional weapons. Instead, reality itself seems to bend around it. Space twists and warps in ways that violate every known law of physics. The first Coven dreadnought simply comes apart. Not destroyed by weapons, not torn by explosions. It separates into its component atoms as if someone had carefully taken apart piece by piece. The crew doesn't even have time to scream as their molecular bonds dissolve peacefully. In seconds, an 800-meter warship becomes a cloud of harmless particles. Impossible, Commander Voss whispers, watching 10 of her heavy cruisers meet the same fate. The human ship hasn't moved, hasn't aimed, hasn't fired anything recognizable as a weapon. Yet her vessels are disintegrating with surgical precision, their crews dying instantly and painlessly as their bodies simply stop being solid matter. General Kane's tactical computer crashes trying to analyze what it's witnessing. His AI systems, designed to process any form of warfare, cannot comprehend what they're seeing. Ships don't just unmake themselves. Matter doesn't spontaneously return to its basic components. Yet, squadron after squadron vanishes as the blue glow around the human vessel intensifies. 1 minute passes. 300 ships have ceased to exist. The human vessel rotates slowly, like a predator selecting its next prey. Admiral X realizes with growing horror that the ship isn't just randomly destroying vessels. It's systematically eliminating his fleet's command structure, targeting flagships and communication hubs with impossible accuracy. Retreat. All ships. Emergency jump to hyperspace. Vex screams into his communicator, but half his fleet command network is already gone. Ships try to flee, their crews panicking as they watch their comrades dissolve into cosmic dust. But their hyperspace drives won't engage. Some invisible force holds them in place like insects trapped in amber. 2 minutes pass. 800. Ships gone. The three admirals finally understand they're not facing a battle. They're witnessing an execution. The human ship isn't fighting their fleets. It's simply deciding which vessels should continue existing and which should not. Commander. Voss tries to surrender, broadcasting on all frequencies. We yield. We surrender. Cease your attack. Her words echo across the void, but the terrible blue glow continues to pulse. The human ship has moved beyond communication, beyond negotiation. It has become something else entirely. A force of nature, a cosmic entity that treats their mighty fleets like dust to be swept away. 3 minutes pass. 1,200 ships dissolved. General Kane watches his personal flagship's hull begin to shimmer with the same blue light that precedes dissolution. He has seconds left to live, and only one thought fills his mind. How could they have been so wrong about humans? The mysterious vessel's hull brightens to an almost blinding intensity. Space itself seems to hold its breath as the final minute begins. Admiral Dex, watching from his command bridge as his own ship starts to glow, finally understands the truth that will die with him. Humans aren't the prey species they thought. Humans are something far more terrifying. They're the apex, predators of the galaxy, and today they've decided to stop hiding. Asterisk. The survivor's tale 4 minutes and 12 seconds after the first shot was fired. Space falls silent. Where 2,150 warships once floated in battle formation, only empty void remains. Not even debris marks their passing. The vessels have been reduced to their basic atomic components, scattered harmlessly through space like cosmic dust. Only one ship survives the impossible slaughter. Commander Voss's personal escape pod, ejected in the final seconds before her flagship dissolved, drifts alone among the particle clouds that were once the galaxy's mightiest fleets. Her pod's life support systems beep steadily in the darkness. The only sound in a graveyard of empires, the mysterious human warship hovers motionless where the battle began. Its hull no longer glows with that terrifying blue light. It appears almost ordinary now, just a sleek vessel floating peacefully in space. But Voss knows better. She has witnessed something that will haunt her dreams forever, if she lives long. Enough to dream again, her pod's communication system crackles to life. The same calm human voice that issued the 30-second warning now speaks directly to her, Commander Voss of the Rillan Federation. You will carry a message to your people. The voice is neither cruel nor kind. It carries the weight of absolute authority. We are humans, the voice continues, as Voss stares at her instruments with trembling hands. For 300 years, we have watched your species wage war across the stars. We have seen you conquer peaceful worlds, enslave entire populations, and treat other life forms as resources to be harvested. We allowed this because we hoped you might evolve beyond your primitive nature. Through her pod's small viewport, Voss watches the human ship slowly rotate to face her. She cannot see any weapons, any obvious threat. Yet she knows this vessel could erase her from existence with less effort than swatting an insect. Your 3 empires made a critical error, the human voice explains with scientific detachment. You attacked our colonies, you hunted our people. You treated us as prey because you believed we were weak and defenseless. This was a mistake we cannot allow to stand uncorrected. Voss tries to speak, to beg for mercy or understanding, but her throat refuses to work. Terror has stolen her voice as completely as the human ship stole her fleet. She can only listen, as the voice continues its measured explanation. What you witnessed here was not our military at its full strength. This vessel represents obsolete technology, a patrol ship from our outer territories. It was sent to observe your gathering and determine your intentions. When you chose violence, it responded with appropriate force. The implications crash over Voss's mind like a tidal wave. If this incredible warship, capable of dissolving matter at will, represents obsolete human technology, then what must their current military capabilities be like? How many more ships do they have? How long have they been watching, waiting, judging? Your species now faces a choice, the human continues. You can continue your aggressive expansion and face the consequences, or you can withdraw to your home systems and begin the long process of becoming civilized. We will not make this offer again. Voss finally finds her voice, though it comes. Out as barely a whisper. How ... How many ships do you have? The question burns in her mind. She needs to know the scale of what her people are facing. Enough, comes the simple reply. Your escape pod has been equipped with a quantum communicator. Use it to contact your respective governments. Tell them exactly what you witnessed here. Tell them that humanity is no longer content to remain hidden among the stars. The human warship begins to move, turning away from the battle site with fluid grace. As it prepares to depart, the voice delivers its final message. Commander Voss, you were chosen to survive not as an act of mercy, but as a messenger. Your people have 48 hours to begin withdrawing from all contested territories. After that, we will no longer distinguish between military and civilian targets. Voss stares in horror as the implications sink in. The three most powerful military forces in the galaxy have been eliminated in 4 minutes by a single ship using outdated technology. If humanity decides to wage war, it won't be a conflict. It will be an extermination. The mysterious human vessel accelerates smoothly and vanishes into the depths of space, leaving Commander Voss alone with her impossible story. Her hands shake as she reaches for the quantum communicator, knowing that her next transmission will either save billions of lives or doom them all to the same fate that befell the proud fleets floating around her as atomic dust. The galaxy's response, the quantum transmission from Commander Voss, reaches the three homeworlds simultaneously, carrying her desperate message across thousands of light years in mere hours. Her voice, broken and haunted, tells an impossible story that military leaders refuse to believe. A single human ship destroying over 2,000 vessels in 4 minutes. Weapons that unmake matter itself. The greatest admirals in galactic history. Reduced to atomic particles? On the Corvin homeworld, High Admiral Rex slams his fist on the War Council table. Lies and cowardice. Vex was defeated by human trickery, not superior firepower. No single ship possesses such capabilities. The council members nod in agreement, though doubt gnaws at their minds. Admiral Vex was many things, but never a coward or a liar. The Rillan Federation's response is more measured, but equally dismissive. Chancellor Vex reviews the transmission for the 5th time, studying Commander Voss's facial expressions and voice patterns. She believes what she's saying, he admits to his advisors. But trauma can create false memories. Perhaps the humans use some kind of mind-altering technology alongside conventional weapons. General Prime Kane's replacement in the Nexus Coalition takes a different approach. Commander Dale orders immediate deep space reconnaissance to the battle site. If this story is true, we'll find evidence. If it's fabrication or delusion, we'll know within hours. But when the scout ships arrive at the coordinates, they find something that chills them to their cores. The space where the great battle fleets gathered shows no debris, no wreckage, no signs of conventional warfare. Instead, scanners detect unusual concentrations of base elements, iron, carbon, silicon, oxygen, scattered in precise patterns that match the last known positions of the destroyed ships. It's as if someone had carefully disassembled every vessel down to its individual atoms and arranged them in space, according to some incomprehensible design. More disturbing are the quantum signatures embedded in the scattered particles. Each atom bears a timestamp, showing the exact moment it ceased being part of a larger structure. The timestamps confirm Commander Voss's account. The entire destruction sequence took exactly 4 minutes and 12 seconds as this evidence reaches the three homeworlds. Panic begins to set in. If humans possess technology that can reduce matter to its component atoms with surgical precision, then every ship, every station, every world becomes vulnerable. Traditional shields and armor become meaningless against weapons that work at the molecular level. The 48-hour deadline approaches with terrifying speed. Emergency sessions convene in all three capitals as leaders grapple with an impossible choice: abandon centuries of territorial expansion or face extinction at the hands of a species they had dismissed as primitive. High Admiral Rex refuses to back down. The Corvin Empire has never retreated from inferior species. We will mobilize our reserve fleets and hunt down every human ship until we find the secret of their weapons. But his bravado rings hollow when faced with the quantum evidence from the battle site. Chancellor Vex takes a more pragmatic approach. If humans have kept such technology hidden for 3 centuries, What else might they possess? Perhaps retreat is not cowardice, but wisdom. However, his military advisors argue that showing weakness to humans will only encourage other species to challenge Federation authority. Commander Dale studies tactical projections and strategic analyses, all of which reach the same conclusion. If humans possess fleets of ships with the capabilities demonstrated at the battle site, conventional warfare becomes impossible. We're not facing a military force, he tells his staff. We're facing a technological singularity that makes our most advanced weapons look like stone axes. With 18 hours remaining until the deadline, the three powers attempt to contact the humans directly, hoping to negotiate terms or at least understand their demands. But human space remains silent. No responses come from their colonies. No diplomatic channels open, no communication of any kind. It's as if humanity has withdrawn behind an invisible barrier, waiting to see what choice the galaxy's powers will make. Intelligence networks work frantically to gather information about human capabilities, but they discover something even more unsettling than advanced weapons. Human colonies that were attacked in recent months show no signs of damage or casualties. The populations haven't been evacuated. They're simply gone, vanished without a trace. Their cities remain intact, their infrastructure untouched, but every human being has disappeared as completely as the atoms of the destroyed fleets. Asterisk. As the final hours tick away, a terrifying possibility emerges. What if the lone warship wasn't sent to defend human colonies, but to observe how the galaxy's powers would respond to what they believed was genocide? What if humanity has been conducting a test, waiting to see if other species could evolve beyond their violent nature? The deadline approaches, and three civilizations must choose between pride and survival, knowing that their decision will determine whether they join humanity among the stars or follow their fleets into atomic dust. The new galactic order, the 48. Our deadline expires at exactly 1432 Galactic Standard Time. Across 3 homeworlds, billions of beings hold their breath, waiting to see if their leader's final decision will mean salvation or extinction. The choice has been made, but the consequences remain unknown. High Admiral Rex, in a last act of defiance, refused to order withdrawal from human territories. The Corvin Empire bows to no one, were his final recorded words. At 1433, every Corvin military installation across 17 star systems simply ceases to exist. Not destroyed by visible weapons, not reduced to rubble by explosions. The bases, ships, and weapons facilities undergo the same molecular dissolution witnessed at the Great Battle. Military personnel vanish instantly and painlessly. The Cerulean populations remain completely untouched. Chancellor Vex had issued withdrawal orders 6 hours before the deadline, pulling all Federation forces back to their core systems. His pragmatic choice saves his people. At 1435, a message arrives at the Federation capital. The Rillan Federation has chosen wisdom over pride. Your withdrawal is acknowledged. Peaceful coexistence is possible. The message bears quantum signatures that prove its human origin. Commander Dale's decision proves most interesting. Rather than choosing full withdrawal or continued aggression, he orders all Nexus Coalition forces to maintain their positions but power down all weapons systems and broadcast continuous surrender signals. It's a desperate gamble that recognizes human superiority while avoiding complete capitulation. At 1440, Coalition space fills with ships. Not human vessels, but the missing populations from attacked colonies, returned in vessels that dwarf anything previously seen. The humans had not been killed or evacuated. They had been relocated to massive habitat ships, while their colonies were used as bait to test galactic intentions. Captain Lisa Brooks of the Human Defense Fleet contacts Commander Dale directly. Her ship, easily 10 times larger than the mysterious vessel that destroyed the 3 fleets, hovers peacefully above the Coalition capital. Commander Dale, your choice shows potential for growth. We offer the Coalition a different path. What? Follows changes everything. Captain Brooks explains that humanity has spent 3 centuries not hiding from galactic civilization, but studying it. They have watched species after species follow the same pattern. Technological advancement leading to territorial expansion, resource competition, and inevitable warfare. Most species never evolve beyond this cycle. We developed our defensive capabilities out of necessity. Brooks explains to a stunned galactic audience as her message broadcasts across all inhabited systems. When you can unmake matter at the quantum level, traditional concepts of warfare become obsolete. But we learn something more important, that true strength comes from choosing when not to use power. The revelation that follows shocks the galaxy. Humanity has been secretly intervening in conflicts for centuries, preventing extinctions and guiding aggressive species away from their worst impulses. Dozens of mysterious phenomena that military historians could never explain. Fleets that vanished without a trace. Weapons that inexplicably failed at crucial moments. Entire wars that ended abruptly when victory seemed certain. All bear the invisible hand of human intervention. We have been your guardians, Brooks continues, hoping you would eventually mature beyond the need for such protection. Some species have succeeded. Others, like the Corvin Empire, proved incapable of growth. The fate of the Corvins serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of choosing violence over wisdom. The Nexus Coalition receives an unprecedented offer. Rather than mere survival, humanity proposes partnership. Coalition worlds will receive access to technologies that make their current capabilities look primitive, but only under strict conditions. No weapons development, no territorial expansion, an absolute commitment to peaceful resolution of conflicts. Commander Dale, overwhelmed by the scope of what he's witnessing, asks the question burning in every mind. How many of you are there? Captain Brooks' response sends chills across the galaxy. Enough to ensure peace, one way or another. The Rillan Federation, having chosen withdrawal, finds their borders secure and their trade routes protected by invisible human guardians. They become the first species to establish formal diplomatic relations with humanity, though they quickly learn that humans have been quietly managing galactic affairs for longer than most civilizations have existed. In the months that follow, a new order emerges. Species that choose cooperation and peaceful development find themselves guided by human mentorship toward technologies and social structures they never imagined possible. Those that cling to aggressive expansion discover their fleets mysteriously, fail when they attempt conquest. Their weapons inexplicably malfunction when targeting civilian populations. The galaxy learned that humanity never sought dominion over other species. They sought something far more challenging, to help those species transcend their violent nature and join a truly advanced civilization among the stars. The choice, as always, remains with each species: evolve or face the consequences of remaining primitive in an universe where true apex predators masquerade as shepherds of peace. Asterisk.